Hey everyone, Captain Amazing here, and today I'm going to do an account overview for April of 2024. So let's jump into it. So this month, it was a pretty good month. I'm pretty happy with my progress of what I was able to do. I did gain 230 GP overall, and it was for two main things that I got into my account. So last month I said my current plan was for farming was the Inquisitors, and I had hoped to get Third Sister and Grand Inquisitor. I wasn't sure because I did farm all the right side pieces, but I was missing a lot of those med packs and other pieces on the left. I was able to use my Mark II to accelerate that farm. So what I did was I did get Third Sister this month. I unlocked her, took her to Relic 7. I did place her 3 Zetas and 3 Omicrons. I don't know if I needed all the Omicrons. It's just this is going to be my JMK counter reliably, so I did want to give her as much opportunity as I can to be successful in that. Overall, would I maybe I think a bit too much, but I don't really regret it. I'm almost done with this farm for right now. If you can see, there's a few things I'm missing. So I'm missing a Zeta on 8th Brother. I'm missing a Zeta on 5th Brother. And then 5th Brother is only Relic 6. So I do have to take him one more step just so I can start earning Riva shards. I don't think it's as big of a deal for my guild. We're moving towards things like Zepho. But it's still nice to have to be able to earn Riva shards for the guild, since they were able to get me Third Sister. I did use Third Sister to unlock Grand Inquisitor. Really easy. You can practically do it on auto. I would say the Zeta where she gives armor shred is really helpful for that. So I know there's no guides out there for using Third Sister to unlock Grand Inquisitor, just because it's really easy. But I would say that armor shred Zeta was pretty important, just because things like Maul, just being able to punch through because he has such healing. He has really good healing, and then his ability to take turns really quickly. You can't really lock him down with healing immunity because he's just going to blow through it. So I would say that the armor shred either on 8th Brother or Third Sister is important on getting that. So I did at the time only have 1 Zeta on 7th Sister, and then I think I had the 3 on Third Sister. So overall, relatively easy to do. No regrets there. When I did unlock Third Sister, I took her straight to Relic 7. It took me a while to get Grand Inquisitor up, just because, you know, my inventory was kind of stretched, but I was able recently to put in that second Zeta, so now he has 2 Zetas. I'm not planning on putting any of his Omicrons on, and I'll go over that here in a second, but I am going to have almost 4 available, even after placing the 3 on Riva, and then I recently placed 1 on Qui-Gon last month. So overall, I'm pretty happy. I was not expecting to have this much progress in a month. I remember saying I hoped to get Grand Inquisitor. I knew I was going to get Third Sister, but overall, like, very happy with that. I also got the Scythe, so this is great for me. It gives me now a more reliable counter for the Leviathan. One thing to note that I did notice is back when I had like no Zetas, Gear 12, Relic 5, the speed on the Scythe is really slow. And even if you increase like all the relics, all the 6 dots and everything, I think fully maxed out, it's something like 142. So it's 3 speed. So I'll say this, if it's really not like, this is, even if they have like 12k more total power, it's something like 3 more speed. So this is an incredibly slow ship, which is fine. It's still an amazing ship. It was just something I thought was pretty interesting once I unlocked it. I thought it would be a faster ship because its total power is like can be usually the highest if someone has like ridiculous relics. But I saw someone who had like all 6 dots, relic 8s or something with the Zetas and everything, and it was like 142, and it kind of like blew my mind. I was like, what is going on? Why is that? Why is there so little difference? So this should be perfectly fine. Like I said, I am planning on getting his Zeta and taking him to Relic 7. I'm not in a rush though, and I'm going to tell you this. I'm not going to jump straight into it because if we go here and we look at my farming, um, I am going to unlock Darthbane here any day. So I have enough shards with the pass that I'm going to get the 10 shards here, and I should have him unlocked before the end of Conquest. So I will have Darthbane here very soon, but I don't have, I am planning on just using the 2 Omicrons. I don't think his, which one is this? I think it's this one. No, not that one. His lead, I'm not going to put on the lead Zeta. It's kind of like, it's really not great. I will do Rule of 2. And this is the one. So I would say Darthbane is a 2 Omicron, 2 Zeta character. You don't need this one. It's built mainly for having him with C, but I think that's way too crazy expensive at this time. There's no reason for this Omicron because usually you're splitting Bane and C anyways. I personally don't have C, maybe sometime soon, I don't know. I'm really not in a rush. And then this Zeta, light side enemies have -10 speed, double for Jedi. It's really a luxury Zeta, so I'm not gonna put the Zeta on there. I'm not gonna put the Omicron, and so I'm now saving for my Zetas for there. I think I only have like 5 Zetas. So 8th brother, 5th brother, do they deserve Zetas? Should you put on Zetas for them? Yeah, absolutely. Especially if you don't have that 3rd sister to unlock Grand Inquisitor. For me, I luckily I had 3rd sister. It saved me from having to Relic 7. So overall, it saved me from having to Relic 7, 9th sister. It saved me from having to put a Zeta on her. I don't think you need a Zeta on 2nd sister. And then I am going to put a Zeta on 8th brother and 5th brother at some time, but it's relegated more towards like that luxury zone than an absolute must. So I think with 3rd sister, her Zetas are a must. I don't think she needs all her Omicrons. Grand Inquisitor, especially the crit damage up one. Yeah, so this one, and have their cooldowns reduced by 1. This one was a bit not the best. If I could take one back, I would take this one back. I just thought like, oh, crit damage is great, but they get it in other ways too. So at this point, looking back, hindsight, would I probably should have kept that Omicron offer, but you know, it doesn't hurt. So, but I'm not gonna put. I don't have the bandwidth right now to put the Omicron for Grand Inquisitor. That'll probably be the next TW Omicron I'll place. Will probably be that Grand Inquisitor one, absolutely. But I do have a lot of GAC ones I have to put because I have to put 2 on Bane, and then I'm getting Profundity here very shortly, and I'll go over that farm in my future farm shortly. But with Profundity, I am planning on putting an Omicron on him, and then yeah, so 2 Zetas on Bane, two Omicrons. I still haven't decided how much investment I'm gonna put in this Profundity farm. I am kind of lacking on 6-dot mods, especially for my pilots, and even these characters. Like I have 3rd sister fully modded. It's okay speed. It's okay. Like this is okay. It's definitely fine. I'm happy with her mods, but it's not the best. So this is the mods I chose for her. I went with an offense and health set. So health here, crit damage, and then health primary. And then so like the speeds are okay. It's these mods are fine. I would like better mods, but it was the best I could do. I didn't steal any mods from anyone, so I was happy with that. For Grand Inquisitor, I'm still working on his mods. I'm planning on 6-dotting this week. I'm not going to do anything with that. I'll probably 6-dot this one, and then I just will continue working my mods until I get a better triangle here and a better circle here. I have an offense primary here, and this is a good one. So these two are okay. This one I need to replace. This one I need to replace. Like I said before, and the reason I said about the 6-dot mods is I'm not in a rush, because usually when I have a really key ship, I'm in a huge rush to 6-dot the pilots so that the ship can perform as needed. The speed on the scythe is just so amazingly low that it's really not a big deal. So these mods are okay. Like this one's okay. This one's all right. This one I am struggling. I don't know why. I just looked at my account. I have a huge lack of protection primaries with decent speed subsets. And I farm speed mods all the time. So maybe I'll take something, definitely not this one, but if I find one with like decent protection, I'll take it up and 6-dot it. But like I said, I'm not in the biggest rush to get this character to 6-dot for the ship. I will say that most of my Inquisitors are over 300 speed, so I'm pretty happy with the amount of speed that they have. I do wish I had them up in like the 330s, but even with like a few decent mods, like they have good speed on their own. And the supporting cast of the Inquisitors, I do want them faster. They do get some speed with Riva, but overall, like, I think this team is going to perform just as I need them. With the amount of investment I have, I will take Fifth Brother up to Relic 7, like I said. And then Darth Bane, I don't have the Relic material saved for him quite yet, but I am planning on taking him all the way up to Relic 7. I'm going to give him as best as I can for 6-dot mods. I probably have somewhere. I'll go with health sets with health primaries, but I do plan on fully investing in him with the 2 Omicrons, 2 Zetas. Profundity, this is my next farm after Bane, but Bane's a real quick farm. So if we go here and look at what I require for Profundity, 800 carbonite circuit boards, 900 bronzium wirings, chromium transistors don't matter, 280 heat sinks, electrum conductors, embittles, impulse detectors, air magnifiers, keypads. So I have the air magnifiers. I have tons of drone braids just from TW, 60 impulse detectors, and 20 gear pads. So while I was waiting for the gear for the Inquisitors, I was able this month to take a little side farm, and I was able to actually finish that for my my Inquisitors. So I do have my 20 gear pads and 61 impulse detectors. I used MK3 and Mark II to farm the impulse detectors, and then I used Mark II to farm these Gira keypads. I still have tons of this stuff because this is the only piece I actually farm with my energy, and it comes out way more than what I actually need. So if I needed gear pads, gear keypads, I could use these, but impulse detectors I used, so while I was using Mark II for gear keypads, and that was really quick. It took me like a week to finish, to farm 60 of these and 20 of these with using my raid currency. It's the first time I had to do that just purely with raid currency, and it was extremely quick. So I'm really happy with how fast it took me to farm for a Relic 8 and a Relic 9, which was a week of just side farming, and I wasn't able to build up like these pieces for getting other characters to relics. But for a big farm, only taking a week to knock out all that material, I think is pretty good for me. These electrum conductors, I'm way ahead for Mark II. Same thing as Zimbittles. I only need 90 of these. Erodium heat sinks, I can create these really easy with these Mark III. These Mark III hollow projectors. So I can just craft a bunch of them. I can buy these with Mark 1 raid currencies. I have tons of Mark 1 raid currencies. I think because I'm getting kind of low, so I'm going to start focusing on these and not just so much as gear. For my next farms, I really don't need much gear. I do need the Kyrotech because I have enough Kyrotech to take Bane straight to relics, but I don't have the Kyrotech necessary. I think I just need like 800 or 400 of this, 400 of this. So my goal for next month. I don't know how, like, in looking at this relic material, so this should be a very fast farm. I do have all the ships, I have everything ready. So my goals for Profundity isn't going to be next month to finish it, but is to have the majority of it done. So I would like to have at least a working team. So Relic Radis, Relic Jin, and then we'll see from there what we'll do with Cassian and Biston. And if we go to my Profundity farm, so I will take Dash. I don't know if I'll take Dash to Relic 7 right away. I guess it depends on how fast this stuff takes. The Radis is going to be held back by Kyrotech because I have like 50 Kyrotech left over after I finish Bane, and he needs a lot, so we'll see. But I'll probably finish Jin, I'll probably finish Cassian or something, and then I'll work on getting Radis up and ready. I'm currently working on these right and left pieces for the Profundity as well, because I've already finished everything for Bane. So I'm kind of working ahead here for a few farms. I'm pretty comfortable with where I am, and I'm pretty happy. So overall, I would say that's my plan. I think it's going really, really well. I am farming, let's see, as far as what I'm farming shard wise, I did get through a few of them from last time. So currently these are the 4 I'm working on. Krennic, Trip Zero, BT1, Seer, Junda. I finished the Bad Batch shards. I finished I think it was like JMK or Lord Vader, one of them. I finished all their stuff, and I'm running out of stuff to farm right now. So I'm now that Marin's accelerated, I farmed her, and I'm almost finished with her. So after that, I'll probably farm Nest, and then I'll go with IG-12 and Grogu. I'm almost done with all my ships, and then I'm getting close to where I'm gonna just have to start doing unaccelerated farms, or just characters that I just don't care that much about, like the Chieftain and Vandor. Not in a rush. I'm not gonna relic or level them up anytime soon, but you know, I think overall, like, I will probably finish Saw. I will start farming Saw once he's accelerated. If I have to, I'll bump off like one of these guys. I do think I'll probably finish Seer by the time Saw's accelerated, so I'll probably just replace Seer with Saw, and then once these guys start getting finished, I'll probably farm like Visas, Vandor, Tusken, and then I'll start going into the unaccelerated farms. Once Gungans do become farmable, I am going to farm them immediately, even as they're because I do plan on getting them up. I'm not gonna rush Gungans. I will slowly farm them. I'm not gonna accelerate them. In 6 months or so, I may be in a good position to just farm them. So in 6 months, I'll probably have like at least JMK and Leia or something, or maybe I'll be going for ships. But I think pretty soon, even before they're accelerated, I will want Gungans. They look like a fun team. So depending on where they are and how good they are, I may like start rushing them or accelerating their shard farm. But at this time, I'm not really planning on farming Gungans, but we'll see where it goes. But like, I am hoping to go for Bane, Profundity, and then JMK into Leia. Once that 2024 fleet comes, it's gonna go right here at the top. I'm not gonna play around with that fleet. I'm gonna go straight for it. I do value ships highly, and it's the greatest advantage I have, especially now that I'm gonna have all the ships in the game, and I'm gonna continue that advantage that I have once I have that 2024 fleet gets announced, and I'm just gonna go straight for it. I will say that I think it'll be Gas's ship is what I'm hoping for, and I think in 2025 it'll be Trench, but we'll see. But I think once I have you know, like Bane, Profundity, JMK, Leia, I'll be sitting really pretty in Kyber. I don't think like Lord Vader C is going to be the biggest difference for giving people a competitive edge over me. But I do think not having JMK, not having Leia, not having Bane, not having Profundity, those are huge disadvantages I have. So I'm trying to finish those, and I have all the shards. I have everything I need. I'm doing really well, and I think it's going to be really, really quick to finish those. I think within like 6 to 8 months, and then if alone, I would probably finish all these farms, but it could be even earlier depending on like how fast I do it. So overall, I'm really happy with my progress. Overall, I will say that Grand Inquisitors also got me another challenge tier 3. So the only challenge tier 3 I don't have now is Night Sisters. I am getting Marin up here, so I'll probably go Night Sisters here. Once I have Marin, I may start exploring because I could see myself going for Jedi Knight Calcastus earlier than I planned now that he's accelerated. So I can see my and also for Zepho for my guild. So I'm playing around the idea of farming him earlier, maybe after JMK or Leia or something, or one of them. I don't know exactly yet. I guess it depends on like how hard my guild's pushing for it. But I am absolutely thinking about just finishing these for CT3. And I think it can be done pretty much with low gear. So I would like gear 12 Mother Talzin, maybe gear 12 Night Sister, Zombie, Marin, Talia, I could leave where she is. But if I even like Relic 5 Marin or something, I think it may be possible. Even like gear 12, I think with Marin, with her Zetas, I think I may be able to restart this like hundreds of times and just get a challenge tier 3. So I may play around with especially once I get Marin to gear 12, just start playing around with that assault battle and seeing if I can do it low gear and then making a guide out of that. So that would be pretty fun. But other than that, like that'll be my last challenge tier 3 for assault battles, which would be great. I don't think the difference of like one assault battle being at challenge tier 1 compared to challenge tier 3 is like the biggest deal in the world, and it's not something I'm like rushing towards because I do think Night Sisters is worth farming all to Relic 7. I just don't think it's where it's not a priority for me, and I would get it to Relic 7 just for ROTE. It would be one of those things that I do think it would be great to have like an off meta Jabba counter, but you know, it's really not in the books for me right now. I would say I don't think I would do it until after I have all the GLs, or at least all the GLs and not Lord Vader. But even if I didn't have Lord Vader, I think I would still do Bad Batch before I like really relicked all these dudes. And that's why I'm saying if I get Marin to gear 12 for Jedi Knight Calcastus, I may just take her up to relics, like relic 5 or 7 or something, maybe Daka up to relic 7, and then from there I may just like play around with it and then see what I can do. But I'm pretty confident that it's possible to do low gear. But overall, like, I'm pretty happy with where my count is. I'm happy with what's going on. I will say that I did get the that Caloran Beck up last time on stream, and I didn't do anything with him. In 3s, he's kind of like useless to me. I'll try him in 5s and with the Qui-Gon team, and I'll see how that goes. But it wasn't really in 3s. I didn't even use him. I don't think it was like a big deal. It was fun to do live or on this improvement stream, but overall, pretty happy. I will say that the one thing that I am worried about, like concerns I have for my account, is going into this raid. My Galactic Republic is really, really weak. And if you look at like what I have here, I don't think Snips is going to be in the raid. I don't think Jedi Knight Anakin is. Maybe C-3PO, maybe RTD2, maybe Grandmaster Yoda. Maybe some of these guys, I don't know, but as you can see, my Galactic Republic is, especially for where I am in the game, is really weak. And same as my Separatist. I don't think like General Grievous will be in it. Maybe I don't think the Geos will be in it. I don't know, but as you can see, my Separatist and my Galactic Republic are really weak, and I think this raid is going to be Separatist and Galactic Republic. So I am really going to struggle in this upcoming raid. And my Gungans, I personally didn't even do that fast shard. I just took whatever shards they gave me and moved on with my life. So I'm really not rushing these guys or planning to do literally anything with it. I took these guys to 50 just so I can do the level 3 or 2 or whatever it was once a day, and that they carried me through like these guys too. So I got like free stuff. But other than that, like I did not put much effort into these Gungans. I don't plan on putting much effort into these Gungans. Maybe once they all become farmable and I farm them over the course of 6 months, we'll see. And then my ships, slowly farming these ships. These are the four, I think five. I think there's 5 ships I don't have. Maybe 6. Yeah, 6 stars. 6 ships I don't have at 7 stars. So the Starfighter, Raven's Claw, it's coming up pretty quick. The TIE Reaper. I will say this: like, farm all your ships. If you, they all have use somewhere. They all could have a home, so you should 7-star all of them. I'm planning on going straight for the Profundity, and Radis I'm just slow farming. And then the comeuppance, since I would have to stop my relic farms for comeuppance, I'm really not planning on 7-starring her, at least until I get Zori Bliss up and running. So once I get Zori Bliss up and running and I start putting some actual investment into the Radis, I don't think it's like the worst fleet in the world. I would like to have more investment into it. It's just, and I do have tons of prestige, 3,000, but I am saving for the Radis. I'm sorry, not the I am saving for the Profundity, so that's 1950 prestige right there, which leaves me with like 1,300. So I need like 600 more for that 2024 fleet, which I think by the time it comes out and it's farmable, I would probably have that anyway. So essentially, I have the 2 next big ships that I have, but my next farm after that would probably be the Executrix, just because I never really put much investment into this. I would like to get this up and running because the Empire fleet, if separated correctly, and then I would probably like get some more investment on my TIE Reaper and my Gauntlet Starfighter, at least to like gear 12 levels for these, and then I would have the Chimera for the Profundity counter and the Executrix for the Chimera for the Executor counter and Executrix for the Profundity counter, because currently, once I get the Profundity, that'll be my Profundity counter, and I'll mirror it with the Imperial TIE Bomber, and that'll be really reliable. But I do think if I have on offense the Chimera, the Executrix, and a Profundity, that gives me some wiggle room, so that way I can, like, if they have a negotiator with the Marauder, I can Profundity that, and then I can use the Chimera and the Executrix to take out like an Executor and a Profundity, because I do have the, where is it at? I do have the Malevolence counter, and I've done it before. Last time I went Malevolence against Profundity, it worked out pretty well. But it was a cleanup because I just had some bad RNG there at the very end, decent RNG to start with. So it was a really easy cleanup. But this fleet can beat the Profundity. It would be better if I had like a Relic Spy, but you know, sometimes you just get really bad RNG. And I would like to have Relic 7 on Grievous just to make my Malevolence a little quicker, and that would probably make it a little more reliable. But it's an okay counter. But I would like a more reliable counter because I place my Executor on defense, I place my Leviathan on defense, and then I think I have like my Radis, which is absolute garbage. But like overall, pretty happy with where my ships are and where they're going. Sooner or later, I'll probably hopefully get some more investment on this Executrix just for that counter, because it's really good. And I don't know if you know this, but when you have the Scythe, its summons aren't based on the Scythe, it's based on that Executrix. So my summons with my Executrix, you're like, yeah, you have a Scythe, just use it with the Executrix. Those summon ships are like absolutely like crazy weak, like not even worth using. Because this, even though this ship is like fully built up, the Executrix is not, and those summons are like absolutely like paper weak, and they just die if anyone like so much as looks at them. So it's not a usable fleet right now. But sooner or later, I'll probably, when I farm C, I'll get or Lord Vader or something. I'll get some relics on Tarkin, and then I'll get this executrix up and running, and that way I'll have I can split up my Empire fleet, which I can't do right now. But I do think in Kyber it's important to have flexibility in your fleet. So if you're looking at just having a more flexible offense, you can do that, because I'm going with going heavy defense with my ships. I need as much firepower off meta as I can, and sometimes it's like when you off meta things, you have to have cleanups. So overall, pretty happy with where my account is, what my plan is, what I'm going for in the future, and I think I'm in a good position here to keep going on. I do wish I could keep building more GLs, but I'm building things that have GL level equivalent, like Third Sister, and also Bane. So, pretty comfortable with where my account is, what's been happening, and how much progress I've been getting over the month. So if you like this content, go ahead, like and subscribe. If you want to see where my account is going, I post this monthly. And then if you have any comments, concerns, or what do you think I should be going with my account? Are you comfortable with my progress? Do you think I'm making a mistake by not going with Gungans? I think there's a lot of interpretation on what I've been doing here, and I think I'm going to be hurting for the raid. So we'll see where. But until all the requirements come out and we know exactly what's on that raid, who's to say what should be farmed and what shouldn't. But let me know what you guys think I should be doing. I definitely think I should be doing some raid prep, but I think it's a little too early for that for me. Other than that, I'll see you next time, and take care.